Welcome back, my YouTube friends. So today we're actually going to go through our original 13 splits that we made from the two swarms we caught earlier, the very first two that we did in this series. They should all have laying queens and should have capped brood by now. So we're going to just verify they've got capped brood, see what they look like. I'll try to show you some of the queens maybe and some of the brood. And I've got 15 back here, two of them, and I can't remember which two it is. It's two of them in these double blue boxes. One of these sets is actually from the mean colony that we split into 16, and it should have eggs in it today. So we're going to check it while we're in them, and then we're going to go over to Larry's and check the rest that are over there today for eggs as well. But for right now, we're just checking the original 13 to see if they have capped brood. I've already checked them a while back for eggs and laying queens, and we looked really good. There were two that were questionable that we added cells to after the fact, so we'll be double checking those. Those may just have eggs as well. So stick around, we'll see what we can come up with here. Well, this is the one that actually, we did have one that had completely left. This one's eating their entire pollen patty. There's not a lot of numbers in this one. The other thing we're going to be doing later today is we're going to be taking and stealing some brood and bees. So this has larvae. So this group right here, this first section, these are from the mean colony that we split out, and there's some larvae. Oh yeah, there's eggs. See if we can see our queen here anywhere. Take my sunglasses off so I can see better. Yeah, there's eggs all over down in here. You can see there's larvae all over up in there. This side's pretty well empty. They're just all right here on this side. I'm not going to worry too much about this. There's a whole bunch of bees on the sidewall. That's probably where our queen is, because I'm not seeing her on here. I'm not too worried about this though. As long as I'm seeing some eggs and some larvae there, that's all this one should have. Again, this one is from the mean colony that we split down into 16. And this other half was one that they probably all moved over to this other box or a different one. Put our feed back in there, and I'm going to need to get pollen patty on this one again. Alright, so I know the rest of these here should have capped brood and be progressing right along. Need a pollen patty on these. These are all probably going to need pollen patties. Yeah, see that? Full frame of brood there on both sides. This queen's just taken right off. I really don't even need to see any more than that. We are going to look at the other side of this frame though, or the second frame, because this was just a straight foundation that they've already started building out and have it full of brood. So you can see this time of year doing these types of splits, this was just one cup, one solo cup of bees that went in this. And she's even got brood on this side here, loaded with eggs. This colony will just explode now, especially if we give it another boost of some nurse bees and a frame of brood. This thing will be in a 5 frame in no time. That looks really good. I'll get back over here and get some feed on this one. I'll do that after we go through all of them. All right, so this one, this is what this little tag here meant. This one is one that didn't have a queen and we had to add a new one to it after we did the initial round of queens. So this one hopefully has some eggs in it. I don't think it'd be far enough along to have anything capped, but I could be wrong. I mean, there's a chance that there might not even be a queen, although this is loaded with eggs. This whole section, all the way out to the edge here, all the way over to about right here, has got eggs in it. And this is just a storage frame. It's got honey and a lot of pollen on it. Looks good. On to the next set here. Yeah, we have cat brood all right there. Larvae, eggs. Cat brood on this side. Also eggs and larvae. That is a bunch of capped. I'm in the shade, so it's a little bit difficult. Nope, there's eggs, larvae there. Got capped on this side. This looks really good. There's not quite as many bees in this one as there was that other one, but there's still plenty. They've got, she's pretty much laid up everywhere she can for the amount of bees that are in here. We give them a nice boost and she'll be off to the races. Here's our queen right here. I don't know if you can see that, but she's right there where my hive tool is. Some capped drone on that side. Capped drone on that one. Here's our queen. She's nice dark black. She looks good. This one, she's a little bit behind. There are eggs in here. And some brood is kind of spotty though, so we're going to want to keep an eye on this queen. Let's see if I can find her a different frame that doesn't have quite as much drone brood on. I'm not sure why. She has laid eggs over here in the portion that is worker comb. She just has an inordinate amount of drone comb in here for some reason. So I'll come and adjust that. There's quite a few bees on the sidewall too. These two frames, they do tend to get a lot of them on the sidewall just because there's not as much room. But she is laying, so that's good. Oh, knock it over. All right, so down, I'm gonna move these cameras real quick. Back in a second. Okay, it's definitely more difficult when you're doing it on your own here, the cameras and whatnot, but we'll make it work. So this one on the left is one of the 13 that we brought over from my house. This one was the original queen from the Bountiful Swarm, but we lost that queen, had to give it a cell, and I think the cell's still in there. We just got to pull it out and see if she emerged. And then this one has the queen from the very first swarm we caught in West Jordan here. So we'll go through this real quick and see what we have. So you can see here is a patch of capped brood. Lots of larvae on the outer edges and eggs right here on the one side. That looks good. Hopefully I've got you in the camera okay. Again, this is all capped. And here's our queen right here. Nice black gal. Hopefully you can see that. And that's just a small patch that they've drawn out, but she's already put some eggs in it, and there's a couple of larvae already growing. So, oh yeah, there's probably a dozen or more down in there. So they're just she's putting eggs in everywhere she can. So that's good. I give them a nice shot in the arm with some brood and bees, nurse bees, and they'll just take right off. All right, so now we're going to see about this one. I'm trying to remember, but I think the cell's still in here. She should have emerged. Yep. There's our cell. Well, that did not emerge, and I only gave them the one. So this one is queenless. We're just going to check it and see what kind of numbers they have. Okay, I will get over here today and put another cell, maybe even two, because I've got some extras in the incubator. We'll get another cell in here. Yeah, there's plenty of population in here, so. All right. And then this one was our, I'll put this on top there so I know that one needs a cell. This was our very first swarm we caught in West Jordan. This should have the original queen in it, and they ought to have this one may be ready for a bigger box. They're building comb everywhere in here, it looks like. Well, they have filled this up with pollen. Loads of pollen there. They built the comb funny, which I hate that when they do it, but they tend to do that early in the season. Late about this time of the year, if you give them a plastic foundation, they'll just draw it right out like it's foundationless one. There is a full frame of brood capped, literally wall to wall, side to side. Pull that off of there. See the other side. The other side is just glistening with larvae. Literally, again, side to side. We've got some eggs on the outer rim here, but this whole intersection is just loaded with glistening larvae. And our queen, she is right there. Hopefully you can see that. Right there. So this one looks good. They are definitely going to need a bigger box pretty quick. They've built comb on the side wall here. We've got a pretty good nectar flow going on, so they're filling anything and everything they can up with honey. Looks good. Very happy, pleased with that. I must not have had a bubble wrap on that one. All right. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to move the cameras over to check our final 6 that are here towards the back of the yard right there. So stay tuned. Back in a second. Okay. So again, these are all part of that original 13. If you remember, this one has one of the tags because we had 2 that queens didn't take the original time around, so we had to add other cells to it. This one should have eggs by now if our queen came back and everything went well. We will see. And we've got eggs, so that's good. Population is pretty light, but she's laying in there. In fact, she's laid quite a few eggs. See if we can find her. Well, I'm not seeing her. There are, oh no, she's right here. She's big. Right there. Oh, she went over to the other side. She looks good. Again, this population, there are bees on the sidewall, but it's a little bit on the light side. She's just getting started though. Give them a boost, they'll take right off. All right, 4 more. So I don't need to tag that one anymore. I know we've got a laying queen in that. This is a beautiful little patch of brood for a brand new queen right there. It's all capped. It's all rimmed around the edge here with larvae and eggs. And our queen is right there. She's a little gold color. Just follow my hive tool. Nothing on this side yet. There's a nice little patch of brood here. You can see, and again, it's rimmed with larvae and eggs all the way around the edge there. So, looking great. With the hot days that are going to be coming real soon, she'll lay this thing up really quick, especially with a little bit of a boost of brood and nurse bees. And they've been chewing away at the pollen patty. She got that clear full, just this little teeny patch of comb that they don't even have it all the way built out yet, and it's clear full of eggs and some really young larvae that have hatched there. So look at the other frame. I can see down in there and see a decent amount of capped brood, so that's good. Oh yeah. Capped brood on both sides and a big old queen. She's striped right there. She looks great. Nice patch of brood, all rimmed with larvae and eggs, both sides. So, very pleased with that. Need to get them another pollen patty. All right, here's our last 2. I think I'll move camera a little bit so it's kind of shady over here. Fair amount of bees in here. That's good. Eating away at the pollen patty. They're just starting on both sides of this to build out the comb. And I'm seeing some cap brood down in here. I don't know if you can see that in the shade here or not, but some cap brood with larvae and eggs. And we've got cap brood on this side just the same. There are bees on the sidewall. Nope, she's right there. There she is. Where did I lost her? Where did you go? Oh, she's right down here. All by herself, kinda. Right there. Looks good. So like I said, I will come back here later this afternoon, and every one of these, if I've got the brood to give them, so I'll be taking brood from all my bigger colonies that are out here in the yard. I'm going to hopefully get a minimum of 15 frames of brood and give each one of them nurse bees and the frame. And how I do that, I shake all the nurse bees. I'll take and put a piece of corrugated plastic underneath the rim here, or the bottom board, so that it kind of sticks out, and I'll just shake nurse bees right off the frame onto it, and they'll just march right in the entrance. And then I'll pull out the frame that doesn't have brood on it, and just drop that brood frame right down in. If both frames have brood, because there are several of them that have frames of brood, then I'll probably take them and move them into some of my 5-frame boxes that are over here, just in front of us. Just move them back here. So last one right here, and I think we're done. Oh, in fact, there's a lot more than I thought there was. They've just barely built this frame out the way they have, and they've filled it with brood. These cells aren't even completely filled out, and she's got eggs and larvae right here in this little section that's not even completely filled out. There's larvae down in there. See if we can find her real quick. Yeah, she's doing really well. She may be on the other frame or the sidewall. Looking down in here, and she's got eggs all the way down into this section here, rimming it all the way around. So take a look at this other frame real fast, and we'll be done. This has a lot of honey in it, but she's already filled the empty spot with cap brood as well. I know she's in here because I've got eggs all over. There's eggs standing straight up all over around the edge of this cap brood. She is right there. Hopefully you can see her on the camera. Right there, all by. Okay. Sorry about the helicopter. There's no way to get around those guys. They're in the air out here all the time. We actually love them. It's a military base over here, and they're always doing maneuvers. So it's great. All right, I would definitely call that a major success from our 13 colonies. There are a couple that I think have problems, but I'm not sure there's more than 2. And with an infusion of some brood, they ought to be just fine. So thank you for watching Just Because. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and whatever you do, don't forget that bell notification icon so you won't miss anything. Be back. I'm sure I'll record adding the brood later. Do that on another video probably, because this one's going to be pretty long. And then we're going to end up over at Larry's today going through all of the mean swarm that we broke down, or not swarm, it wasn't a swarm, it was just a colony over here that was pretty ornery. That is in 16 boxes. We looked at 2 of them while we were here just now. We'll look at the others over at Larry's and get a tally of how many of them have eggs and larvae, and if there's any that need queens. I've got about 30 or 35 cells in the incubator right now, and I put 2 new grafts of 34 each in each of the 2 cell builders yesterday evening. So we should have plenty of queens for what we need. If you're local and you need queens, get a hold of me. I'll have some virgins here in the next few days. And happy to sell them to you. If not, we'll use them. If you have any questions, boy, put them in the like or in the comment section. I'm happy to get back to you and answer anything that I can. Have a great day. Thanks again.